Have you ever sat down and tried to create some music only to get stuck with the question, should I start with the chords or should I start with the melody? I'm hoping that by the end of the video, you will have much more confidence in answering that question. Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Noam. Let's cut straight to the chase. Should I start with the chords and put the melody on top of that? Or maybe I should start with the melody and then add the chords supporting it afterwards. I'm going to take an experimental approach. I will write a little piece of music, or rather a beginning of a piece of music in each one of the methods. First, I will start off with the chords, and the second time I will start off with the melody. I'll make a little discussion, and I will also share what works for me most of the time. Let's get to it. So I've loaded up here in Cubase 2 tracks, one for the harmony and one for the melody. The track that I've chosen for harmony is a Celesta virtual instrument by the Crowhill Company. It sounds like this. Very pretty sound, I love it. And for the melody, I've chosen this Descant horn. I think that's the way you say that. Audio Imperia solo library. So without further ado, let's go straight into our first version. Let's think of some chord progression. Let's go for, I don't know, D minor. All right, something like that. Let's take that as a reference. What was the tempo here? Something around 80, I don't know. Go for 82. And we're in 3, 4. Gluing it all together. All right, chords. So we're started off here with D minor. That's D minor over C. Yeah, something like that. Missing some notes here, aren't we? All right. Melody. Let's see. Okay, not that bad, if I may say so myself. This G is so out of tune. Is there a way to tune individual MIDI notes in Cubase? Let me know in the comments. All right, so I've fixed it up a little bit. Let's listen to what we've got here. Method number 1 of starting off with the chords. I like it. Very delicate, soothing, I guess, as expected with my instrument choices. Let's go straight on to the second version where I'll start off with the melody. Let's stay in a minor key so that it's kind of similar, but I'll go to a different key so that I get some fresh ideas. Let's do C minor. I actually like starting off with singing with my voice. Da, 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 da. Let's start with that. Not sure about that ending, but okay. We'll make a tempo change here. Let's tap the tempo. 88. And then where did we go from there? So we got ourselves a melody. Now we need the chords. So we're starting off with C minor. Okay, so I have a harmony part. Let's listen to it. Yeah, pretty nice as well. Orchestration wise, this was not a great choice of sounds because they're pretty much sitting in the same range. Orchestration aside, it's a solid composition, giving me these contemplative vibes. I like it, if I may say so myself. I'd love to hear what you guys think of each one of these little compositions. Let me know in the comments. So what is the answer? Should I start with the chords or should I start with the melody? As we see from this experiment, either way is totally valid and can get good results. What I'd suggest for you in your next track is if you're used to starting off with a melody, start off with the chords. And if you're used to starting off with the chords, start off with the melody. And if you're sort of struggling every time, do one track where you start like this, another track where you start like that, and try to be a little bit systematic about this and figure out what works better. For me personally, I find it easier to start with the harmony. This was also apparent in this exercise. I had a much easier time when I started with the harmony, just adding in the melody. Part of that is probably because melody sort of comes to me easier. Give me a harmony progression, I'll stick a melody over it, no problem. But making a melody out of nowhere is a bit harder for me. And then harmonizing a given melody is also sometimes harder. That being said, after doing this exercise, I do feel that I should try doing this a little more. Starting off with the melody did give me a stronger melody. And even though I struggled a little bit creating the harmony part, it did come out, I'd argue, a little more interesting than the other one where I just started off with the harmony. So I'm gonna take that as an exercise for myself. I'll try to start my next track with a melody. Okay, so that concludes this video. I hope you took something away. If you got any questions or anything to say, please leave it down in the comments. I read every one of them. Let's all learn from each other. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. That would help me a lot. Until next time, goodbye.